4 or 5 of my over 100 best friends to assist me in taking my hair out, and they all agreed. Number 2, this was at the end of class. This week we were doing STEM fair presentations. Since it was Friday and all of my students did an excellent job on their STEM fair projects and presentations, I told them if we get one solid presentation in this class, I'll end class a little early and they can have fun and play basketball, darts, or be on their phones or whatever. And during that time, my team would help me take my hair out. A couple of these were students from my class, but others were students from other classes. I wrote all of them a pass at the beginning of the class period, requesting their assistance 10 minutes before dismissal. I told the teachers only send them if all of their work was completed and they had good behavior. They all met the criteria, so 10 minutes before dismissal, they showed up for their job. My next point I'd like to make is if I was a female teacher, those people wouldn't be in the comments saying, "Oh, this is weird, this is inappropriate." Because me personally, I don't think there's anything weird about this. People are saying, "Oh, that's too intimate." To me, it's literally just hair. It doesn't have to be weird. Some people have never had cool teachers, and it shows. I personally believe that building authentic relationships with students is paramount in being an effective teacher. I make sure my students know and can feel that I care about them beyond the schoolwork and all the stuff that I have to make them do. I take the time to get to know my students outside of academics, because caring for the whole child is what's important. Some of these students have been with me since I was a substitute 4 years ago. They see me as a big brother or a father figure, as some of them say. And me, I don't want kids of my own, so all of these kids are literally my children. And in case you're wondering about their parents, most of them follow me on social media and always talk about my videos with their kids. They always tell me that they're so grateful that their kids have someone like me in their life. In my admin, they're well aware of my social media presence and they love my videos. To me, this is just another wholesome moment that I'm having with my kids that I was fortunate enough to catch on film. Since I'm a science teacher, one thing that I teach my students about is symbiosis. Symbiosis deals with the relationships between organisms. The type of relationship that I like to foster in my class is mutualism, or mutualistic relationship, which means both organisms benefit from the exchange. So when my students have good behavior, complete all their assignments, and do everything that a scholar is supposed to do, I reward them with downtime and just time to just be a kid, be on their phones, play games, gossip, so on and so forth. My students and I work hard and we play harder. I'm fortunate enough to have students that feel safe and comfortable around me, safe to come to me with their problems, their frustrations. They come to me seeking guidance and wisdom, or come to me simply to chill and hang out because they know that they have a safe space to be themselves around me. What I strive to do as an educator is be the teacher I wish I had grown up. I strive to be the teacher that makes my inner child happy, someone that my inner child would be proud of. I want to be the teacher that my students reflect back on 20, 30 years down the line and think like, dang, that teacher I had in middle school, he was the shit.
What's up, y'all? This your girl, Bossalini Neek, back at you again from Ambitious Hustlers Pod with another positive message and some comments on this little video that I seen, floating around social media. I seen this video of this man, in the classroom allowing students to take his hair out. Now, don't get me wrong. I think that's cool that the students vibe with him, they get along and all that. However, sometimes the lines can get blurred between student and teacher. Now, I know it's plenty of us out here. We already went through school. We at least went through all the way to 12th grade. I know I ain't the only one. We went all the way to 12th grade. So we've witnessed some things. And some of us were actually a part of some things. So, with that being said, I know for a fact that is inappropriate. Number one, this is happening on the school's time. They're not paying you to take your hair out. That's the first red flag. Flag on the play. I mean, hey, my entrepreneurs out there, my business owners out there, you already know. If you pay somebody to do something on the job, that's what you expecting from them. Right? The next thing is, these are young women around a man. Now, we not going to pretend like most, I'm going to say people, but since this is a man that was allowing young women to take his hair out, right? We already know that most men don't have self-discipline when it comes to sex. So the fact that these youngins are surrounding him and taking his hair out, that could be a problem. I don't know this man that well, and I really don't care to. I'm only just saying. You won't let these kids take your hair out. You probably should have, number one, didn't record it. And the other thing, you shouldn't have did it on the school's time. Nobody's paying you for this. And this is why you got to separate friendship from the job. Nothing's wrong with being friends with your students. Nothing wrong with your students supporting you and being there for you. But the fact of the matter is, you are a male and these are females and they're young. So people already assuming, which we already know, that most youngins are naive. They really are, unless they grew up in the streets like I did. Now, if they grew up on the streets, then they're not naive. They know the game, they got it on lock, and they're playing the game themselves. So who knows? They could easily be the prey, and the predators, and he could be the prey in the situation. But just how it looks very unprofessional, and I got to stick with the school on this one. They did right to fire him. That's very unprofessional. If we let you get your hair braided, what that tells future teachers and substitutes that come in, that lets them know, oh, yeah, I get to get my hair braided. Before we know it, teachers will be getting massages by students. It's just a matter of time. But I definitely agree with the school's decision to fire this man. Because the lines between teacher and student can easily get blurred, especially in this situation. It's just too close for comfort. But you can see in the video, it's all positive vibes. Everyone happy, everyone doing them. Nothing's wrong with that. However, like I said, it's about what's appropriate and what's inappropriate. It happened at school. You're not getting paid to take your hair out. You're not getting paid to allow students to take your hair out. You're getting paid to teach. Teach and go home. Why can't people just do their work and go home? Like, what's wrong with doing your work and go home? Whatever you do on your time is your business. Well, I take that back. Thanks to social media, whatever you do on your time is other people's business as well, including the people that work with you. We got to be careful about what we post on social media. You got to know this. You got to be careful what you put out there. And I also feel like he probably would still have his job if he would have never posted it. Why do we got to post everything, y'all? Why we just can't enjoy certain things for ourselves? Why do we got to post everything that we're doing? And I mean, maybe it's just me. But looking at the video, I felt like he was trying too hard to prove that it was innocent. Maybe it's just me. Because I'm like, if it's innocent, there's no need to talk a certain way. You know, I would just be having regular conversation. I wouldn't even mention the fact that these girls are taking my hair out if I know that it's an innocent thing. And he did mention in the video that people may look at it a certain way, but you can't help but to do that with grown adults out here, men and women that are grown. We understand, you know, these are young girls. They are attractive. Everyone likes young. Let's be real, and new. Let's be real. And then you're a teacher. You're a male. No, keep things professional. So what? I would rather people assume that I'm doing something, even though I'm presenting myself professional, versus I'm giving you something to play with. Him letting them take their hair out is a flag on the play, and him recording it, another flag on the play. But the biggest flag on this play, ladies and gentlemen, is you are on the clock. Your job is not paying you to let youngins take your hair out. It's just what it is, son. It's just what it is. They're not paying you to do that. They're not paying you to let youngins take your hair out. So I definitely agree with the school's decision to fire him. I do. And I get it. He said the parents signed slips so he could post on social media and all this other good stuff. I mean, that's all fine and dandy. But what about the principal? What about the school board? See, it's levels to this thing, baby. Even though the parents cool, what about the principal? And even if the principal is cool, a lot of times they got to make sure the school board is on board with whatever's going on in these classrooms. Come on, man. And for real, they fired him for his protection. Any one of those student parents could easily come and try to do a lawsuit. Oh, years later, oh, the girl, y'all know the game. Y'all know what happens. Years later, here come these documentaries on Netflix, these documentaries on cable. The guy that let the students take the hair out, and these girls coming out with all kind of other stuff. Man, stop giving people ammunition. Go to work, do what you got to do, and then go home. But I definitely agree with the school's decision to terminate him. Absolutely. And I hope going forward that he don't see it so much as a personal thing. Like, I'm a good teacher. Everyone doing good in my class. I get along with my students. It's not a personal thing. It's just business. And that's what we got to learn how to understand out here. Learn how to navigate personal from business. It's really not the same. Even though when you get along with people, it's like this. The business and personal gets real close. I get it. But when it's time to make decisions that couldn't affect people's livelihood, like he was terminated, that's affecting his livelihood. That's his money. This is how people survive. They're paying their bills. They're trying to eat. So I totally understand. But he got to understand that was just business. I'm sure that people in the school still love him, still care about him. But you got to do what you got to do. And a lot of times, if they don't fire you, what'll happen is the principal will get fired. It's just the game, baby. It's just how it go. And they'll replace the principal, and they will fire you and fire that principal. So I totally get it, and I understand. And I definitely feel like it's inappropriate. But make sure you guys subscribe, and make sure you guys leave comments. Let me know what you think. Do you think that it's appropriate or inappropriate for this male teacher to allow his female students to take his hair out? And I think that's the other part of the controversy. Look at me still going on. I think that's the other problem. It was all females. Maybe if it was male and females doing it, it would have probably seemed more harmless. Was it a reason why it was just all women doing it? Who knows? But anyway, y'all, thanks for tuning in with your girl, Bossalini Unique, back at you from Ambitious Hustlers Pod. And make sure you subscribe. Let's get it.